He goes off on Nicki Minaj. Let's hear this.
Just like, it's Nicki Minaj. It's like, this is the least. I was not shocked to see her walking out hand in hand with Erica Kurt.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if Nicki Minaj was aware of where she was.
What?
Did you watch it?
I did. Wait, why would she say Nicki's not aware of where she is? Like Nicki's stupid.
It was one of the most awkward things. Nicki Minaj is not well, and neither is this whole movement. This TPUSA, this AMP Fest, whatever you want to call it. It was a joke. Nicki Minaj goes on rants attacking black children, but then wants to sit on that stage and preach for us, black women, allegedly, to not attack white children. But she attacks black children. Let's not forget her unhinged tweets towards Cardi B's children. She does that. But then she's accusing us of doing that. Nobody's doing that. Your husband and brother are pedophiles.
Oh shit.
And they have been convicted. Yeah. And you constantly defend them. But you're sitting on stage with people who are supposed to be the party that's about protecting children. Nicki Minaj, she's full of contradictions. She's aligned herself with the correct party because that's a party.
Wait, let me ask a question. and I actually do hate this about people in, this country. And I'm saying this, I'm from this country clearly. If this speech right here, which is kind of throwing a lot at Nicki, if it was in reference to her comments about Cardi B's kid, spot on. Because Nicki was wilding. Nicki was wilding. But I hate that people, most people draw the line? It's not when she says something about Cardi's kid, and that actually, to me, one of the most disgusting things. They draw the line that Nicki just kind of presenting that she might have a political affiliation. Like, who the fuck cares? Like, who cares? Like, I get it. She's a role
You
model,
think I have somebody I love in the bricks?
And that's an important point to make because that's about, okay, first and foremost, you got to open your minds up and think about what these things mean when someone feels as though just you having different beliefs than them. First of all, the people's argument is based off the fact that you honestly believe that you control who someone could be, who they can become, and what they believe in, as if it's not a free country. Who the fuck you think? Oh, I gotta ask y'all, who the fuck do y'all think y'all are? That shit is wild. Like I always tell my brother, when we talk about Nick Fuentes, we know Nick Fuentes is a fucking dickhead. Everyone knows that. I think that's the whole point. He's an internet guy. I'm not sure what he does. All I know is that he's been deplatformed, and he's again not someone I need to know about like that, right? I get his whole shtick, and I think my brother was saying something to the effect of like, "Yo, well, people like that need to be censored because they're spreading hate." And it's like, fam, if you are too soft to handle a Nick Fuentes existing on the internet where he can't touch you, he's not mobilizing a fucking army. These people always treat every person that they don't like as if they're the actual mustache man with an entire army, and this army is coming to get you. No, because at some point, men gotta realize that when you behave in a way where you're not ready for a threat, or you're not prepared for threats, or you don't have an aggressive plan, or you don't plan to go about problem solving aggressively, you're putting yourself in a victim's position. That means that you are not ready. You're not ready for smoke. At all times, I'm ready to throw about 30 punches and bob and weave and move my head and use my hands and my feet and my elbows and kick and all that shit. Cause I know that if I ever get into a confrontation, I made this shit. Who knows how long it's gonna go on for? You know what I'm saying? I may need to try to kick the nigga. You know what I'm saying? To do what I have to do. But if I'm not prepared to throw a bunch of blows or be ready to go at it for a couple minutes and whatnot and not get winded, I will be in a fucked up position if I'm ever in that situation. Like the other day, my car payment came out and I just was not ready for that. And I forgot the date and everything, and it just was a bad joint. I'm not gonna hold you. And just the worst timing possible. And it put me in a huge negative. And I was like, I gotta think. I have to think. all right, I'm gonna use the gas I got, and I'm gonna make some money tonight. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, I found the way to get the money from my Instacart money onto a different card. And not only that, I pretty much made the money. I pretty much made the money back and everything. For the most part, I have it for the most part, more or less. So, but it's not a situation where like it's gonna stay negative for a week and this and that. And, like, nah, like like yo, I actually made the money back. But the only reason why it happened was because I was willing to go out there and get it. Only reason why it happened was because I made my prayer clear. Like, yo, I was like, yo, I need to start. I know for a fact if I run into the right batches that I can have a $500 and $600 week. I said, that has to be a new goal. I have to build it but it's perfectly possible. I'm sorry, it's very much possible if I get big orders. I'm like, yo, if you get $10, $50 orders in a week, that's $500. So boom, you can easily get to $7. You know what I'm saying? And anywho, so I want to point that out. But overall, it's just I just don't like the concept of, and again, you hear this mostly from black women or just people on the left, but mostly with black women, this whole idea of you putting an expectation on someone that they did not agree to, and not only that, again, not respecting their journey in life. And that's another thing too. It's like, all right, well, if you like someone, right, you to a certain degree, you have to accept them. Now, we've gotten to where somehow, when someone's different than you, when someone says they're Republican or conservative, it's gotten to a point where whether you say you're Republican, conservative, liberal, Democrat, it's gotten to be like some Bloods and Crips shit. Shout out to academics, that's just an analogy. But it's gotten to be some Bloods and Crips shit, where it's like, it doesn't matter who you actually are, but because you have this affiliation, I don't like you, or that alone makes me unsure about you. And on some level, we have to contend with the fact that, yo, that means that you have a fragile existence. If just the idea of someone being different than you bothers you that much to where you feel like I can't talk to you, I can't be around you. You had that bitter old bald head broad telling people, hey, if you have to not attend Thanksgiving, or if you have to basically, I think they were talking about basically not spend a holiday with your family because they voted for Donald Trump. What that's about is the behavior of, all right, well, I cannot contend or deal with a world, because you gotta think about what that means. That's how weak you are. Rather than deal with the world as it is, you want to create your own reality, or it's like, again, you can't deal with reality, and because you can't deal with reality, what you want to do is, all right, well, I can't deal with you having a different opinion than me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a psychological game and manipulate you into feeling like you can't express yourself. A lot of modern women do that with men. A lot of men, like earlier, right? I'm at my aunt's house, and a few young guys were there. I guess they were friends of my cousin, and I believe this game is probably for women. But you know what though? Knowing how modern women are, modern women probably buy this game with the intention of humiliating the man, because I think it's called twerk pong, and it's something to do with basically you gotta like shake your ass. It's like shaking your ass is a part of the game. I know for a fact that none of these young guys wanted to play this game. And I know for a fact that when they heard the idea of the game, and when they heard twerk in the name of the game, they immediately thought, I really don't want to do this. I would rather not do this. That shit is the same as me creating a game where a part of the game is I make you put on a ball cap and put on like a beard, or just some shit that makes you look mad ugly. Women don't never want to be ugly. If we had a game, if we had a game that could make women feel like real ugly and shit, you know what I'm saying? Or part of the game is calling them fat. Yo, they would never want to play that game. And imagine men trying to make you play the game. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Let's say we had a game called Fat Bitch, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, somehow we incorporate Fat Bitch into the game. I don't know how to put. Okay, I didn't think the whole joke through. But you get the analogy, right? You get it, right? I'm just saying. Come on now.
You think I have somebody I love in the bricks?
Shit, man. I'm just saying.
One drunk man is more intelligent than 3 women with PhDs.
Thank you so much.
That's
thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Oh.
Beefing with my chick while I'm in jail.
Are we comparing her aligning or possibly aligning with TPUSA or Trump to her basically saying all them vile things about Cardi B's kid? Who gives a fuck if she likes Turning Point? Or who gives a fuck if she wants to be Republican? Why is like that the line? Like, I can't believe she did this. I think the more disgusting thing was when she actually got at Cardi B's kid. Yo, we still got to get to a place where we kind of accept black people sometimes could be on either side of the aisle politically.
See, what academics don't understand is that black women don't care about that shit. That's why it's not a big deal. This is for whatever reason, this is a way more serious thing. And academics is absolutely correct. What Cardi B and Nicki Minaj, well, they both were talking crazy about their kids and whatnot. Yeah, I don't want to get too deep into that. But like a few months ago, they had a crazy exchange on Twitter. It was just wild, right? But no, black women don't see anything wrong with, because again, the kids are not important. If the kids were important to black women, that they would make it a point to make sure that the kids have a entire family, have a mother and father in the house. Because another big part of why that the households aren't households, like, yo, because like, listen, the more that we talk, the men have also picked up on the fact that, oh shit, family don't really matter to you. You don't have a mature, and again, all your problems go back to the bitch in you and growing the fuck up, aka maturing. You are not mature. So when you don't mature, you're not able to move past the realm of selfishness. When you're younger, you mostly think of yourself, which so that's normal. You're selfish, so that's normal. But as you get older, you start to kind of, it's like having a very narrow vision, and then the vision starts to widen up to where you can see everything and everyone. That's how you learn. Oh, I need to call that person. I need to call them on their birthday. I need to text them. I need to acknowledge this person. Oh, that person seems to be upset with me. All right, well, why are they upset? Is it something I could change? I mean, okay, my bad. I can. Some people can't apologize. Some people, your maturity is so low that you cannot say my bad. But that is a profound point. It's like, yo, she said all those wild things about a little black. Well, nigga, that's not a thing too. A child. Let's just say child. I really don't like when black folks are trying to make a point. They have to make a point to say, you did this to a black woman. Matter of fact, but black man, if it's a black man, it don't matter. But you did this to a black woman or this to this black child. And so, and I guess what this person is trying to speak to is furthering the agenda that, well, you know, if you're conservative at all, that's anti-black. But the thing is this, black culture in general is just, it's a cannibal culture. It's not a thing that, it's become this thing where the people themselves are not benefiting. It's just kind of stalemating and keeping everything in the exact same place, which is for the most part chaos. And with chaos, things kind of just go around in circles. Like, and that's kind of like, I guess that could be symbolic of cycles repeating themselves, right? But anywho, I mean, honestly, for the most part, I think what's most important is it's just an appearance somewhere. Like, this doesn't mean anything. Black women have come online and acting like Nicki Minaj is sitting down with someone who murdered thousands of black women. I don't know, as if she's sitting down with some kind of serial killer and telling a serial killer that they're amazing. That's how they're acting, and like, this is wild. But I don't know if it's a crabs in the barrel mentality. But listen, let me tell you something. Listen, at this point, we gotta admit that it's time to do something different.
Gives a fuck if she's at some turning point shit. Now, granted, is she there for the right reason? Does she believe it? If she believes it, cool. If she doesn't believe it, and she's just trying to get a Newsom and trying to get at, like, you know what I mean? You know,
tonight I want to see you use
all
that
these
gun.
other people who have used like her ops, quote unquote, Cardi and Meg's songs in their, like, you know, promos or campaigns. That to me is like odd and weird, because like you're like jumping political to a political side just to get at somebody who isn't in politics, a rapper, right? But if she believes it, why are people acting like this is the worst thing ever?
that does that as well. They claim to be Christians and in step with Christ-like principles, yet they spew hatred, division, and lies. That's what Nicki Minaj is. She sat up there as a walking contradiction. Nothing Nicki Minaj did on that stage was of sound mind. It felt deranged at times. And I don't even know if she realizes that she's being used as a pawn or that she is a fool. She is propaganda, being used as propaganda to further their agenda. She won't be the first.
And here's the thing. So what she's referring to is when Nicki Minaj talked about how Christians are basically getting to a point where if you're a Christian, it's almost like you're being persecuted, or it's okay to shun you, or it's becoming a bad thing to be Christian. And even though I may not be Christian, I understand that people need something to believe in, and people are just crappier people when they don't have Christian values. And we're seeing the world kind of come apart. Also, Angry Man made this point too about, like, you know, the previous administration, any administration that happens to be Democratic, whether y'all want to realize it or not, those people are like, they refer to it as anti-God. And what that means for me when I hear it is that these people do not see the importance of, no, we need faith. We need the accountability. We need to know that, hey, no, this is right and this is wrong. And we got to a point where, because we don't want to say, we don't want to make certain people feel bad about who they are. And like, in these certain people, yo, you have to overcome your situation. You have to overcome what your challenges are and outperform your situation. I think that a lot of queer people would miss the opportunity to become a much iller person. Because for black men's experience, the reason why black guys are so charismatic also, and dress so well and is so well groomed, is because we really be trying hard to be liked. All right, a lot of white guys get their hair cut every couple of months. Black dude keeps his hair cut. All right, black dude will keep some fresh feet. Even if they ain't the nicest niggas, he'll have some clean Johns to put on. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. But not only that, just our whole persona, like we're very much like pleasers, and that's, you know, sometimes it can be good, sometimes it ain't the best thing. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God, I can't.
But bigger than that, do you hear how the young lady is talking as if she has the authority? She herself, by herself, she has the authority to determine you are not well. And also, she made this stupid ass point that black folks make, and this was what I used to buy into when I had more of that broke ass mindset. This whole concept of you don't know you're being used. Meg Thee Stallion, matter of fact, let me see if I can. Matter of fact, I'm not gonna bring it up right now. They had Meg Thee Stallion up there shaking her ass and twerking at a convention, a rally, to get people to come vote for Kamala Harris, right? And that's how they presented Megan Thee Stallion. So to get out there and shake your ass. Not only that, Megan Thee Stallion is not even someone, I just don't, like, what songs can she do for that you can play around people's entire families? But the point that a lot of people made content or had commentary to that was that what this means is that this is what they think you want. This is what they think that you're into. This is what they think you really go for. So therefore, they don't see anything wrong with getting Cardi B to go sit down with the president because like, yo, for the most part, black women think that's dope. Okay? Black women think, yo, because they know Cardi B is from the bottom. This is a bottom of the barrel type chick. If not for rapping, Cardi B will be stealing your food stamps right now. You be out there with
The whole show in Chicago with the bean out.
You know what I'm saying? Be beefing with my chick while I'm in jail.
Beefing with my chick while I'm in jail.
While I'm in jail, nigga.
I heard it was big, but that sounds ridiculous.
Anyway, so it's late. We got the 1 minute mark. All right, let's cook a little bit more. All right. Oh, my bad. The other point I was making, and I saw a meme online. So basically, it was talking about how this is how the Democratic Party presents black women. You know what I'm saying? And they show the video of Megan Thee Stallion. And then with Nicki Minaj sitting down talking, and they were pointing out this is how Republicans present black women. All right? As Nicki Minaj is sitting, and one thing you got to say is, she's not saying anything. She's not talking crazy. She's not cursing. She's not saying. And that's another thing to it that they also like didn't like is the fact that Nicki Minaj is not out there talking crazy. Don't get me wrong. She sounds a little spacey. And I get like, fam, that's not really her arena to ever talk about these kind of things. And also, it is a big ass room of people. All right. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter how good of a performer you are. If you're in a new arena, having a new experience, when have you ever seen her in that realm anyway, of talking like that? So people do have to get comfortable having those kind of conversations publicly, and also you can kind of hear her putting her thoughts together. Now it's a little bit of word salad, but she's not saying anything that's messed up. What the Keisha on the couch is saying basically is that if you align yourself, if you're anywhere near, if you're conservative at all, that means that you are a traitor. It means that you're a bad person. And it's like, all right, but okay, and again, if you're free to feel how you want to feel, but one has to ask, okay, what is that based on, and how are you better? Cause I'm gonna tell you right now, the people I played early in the video that was in there doing those check frauds, they not conservative. They not Republican. I guarantee you that the girl that was the dudes, the YNs that are going to go do the whole the new the scam from Klarna, the Klarna method. Listen, they don't even see it as a crime. Y'all women raise our kids to be such pieces of shit that rather than call it a crime, they call it a method. A method is how you do something. And I get it. I know it's a slang, but nigga, you are doing financial crime. You're doing traceable crime. Like you heard the cops say, I'm going to search your phone. You can get a warrant for someone's phone. You understand?
First, she won't be the last.
Respectfully, and what I would say to Rachel Lindsay, I'm gonna call a spade a spade. If you want to say that Nicki Minaj is being used as propaganda for that particular side, you should have the same opinion about Cardi B when Cardi B was seemingly being embraced by the Democrats. And I think Rachel Lindsay, who I believe is a former lawyer, you'd probably admit that Nicki Minaj's intellect as well as Cardi B's intellect, at least when it comes to in the political realm, are probably the same. They were both used as political propagandists or just really a pawn, right? So if you're gonna don't only have the energy because Nicki isn't being used as a pawn for the side that you rock with. If you're saying that her being used as a pawn for the Republicans or TPUSA, you should also have said Cardi B and even Megan Thee Stallion were being used as a pawn for Democrats. If you keep that same energy, I agree with your point. Because I do think when they throw a rapper out there, like when Trump is like, here's my new friend, Lil Pimp, I get it. Trust me, I do. But you can't just have it for one side. So when Beyonce
my new friend Lil Pimp is crazy.
Supports like Kamala Harris, is she not being used as a pawn, or is she really educated and smart and she knows what's right? Because a lot of times you guys phrase these conversations not off actual logic. It's right and wrong, and y'all put one side as this is the bad side and this is the good side. So if
and that's the thing, and that's another reason why America sucks, and we don't realize that. Even like our whole perception of how we think about things, even the Make America Great Again campaign, I realized like, damn, like we think about what MAGA stands for, right? And now for black folks, MAGA has come to mean racist. All right, it's a terrorist organization. Nigga, no one has ever beat your ass with a MAGA hat on. I don't know anyone who's ever been brutalized, cursed out, called a nigger by somebody wearing a MAGA hat. You never just seeing a MAGA hat has come to make black folks nervous and scared, and you're totally missing out on the point. Because the way that black folks, especially if you got that broke nigga mindset, you interpret "Make America Great Again" by saying, "Oh, you mean make America white again," and you're totally glossed over the fact that we're not doing good. The economy is bad. Okay, the morale is down. The kids are more stupid. The kids are fatter. People don't have the same resolve. People don't have no faith. No, we're not great anymore. And you know why you don't know that? It's because you believe in female leadership. Because that's how you start thinking when you think that she can be my leader. And what I mean by that is that when women create solutions, for the most part, their solutions are not meant to be effective. All right, the solutions that she can come up with most of the time will be either an irrational solution, meaning that in terms of what you want to do, or it's not going to actually solve the problem, or usually her women's plans are always going to be based off of what is the most easiest and the most passive way I could solve this, and that's not how things are always done, because that revolves around things being perfect. And you want things to be perfect, and you want there to be no pain, no discomfort, or whatever, which is totally understandable. But that's not how all things go, and that's why in male leadership, when the man's leader, the guy can handle the burden of these things. He can handle the reality of these things. We've created a society where most of the people in it can't even coexist with someone who don't think like them. But anyway, I wanted to build a little more on that subject, man. I mean, I can't believe it.
Oh my God! I can't believe this. Yo, I can't believe this. Yo, I cannot believe this. It's just, rest in fucking peace, Doris.
Rest in peace, Doris. Anyway, subscribe to the channel. Love y'all. Be safe.